Now that we know about recursion, it's time for us to have a look into backtracking, which is another subset we will use in dynamic programming. So what is backtracking? So in recursion, we have seen that a function calls itself only once, but when a function calls itself more than once, then it is called backtracking. So let us take an example. Let us consider we have a function f of x. At first, it calls itself thrice, that is f1, f2, and f3. Again, f1 calls thrice, f2 calls thrice, and f3 calls thrice, the same function. So far in recursion, we have seen that a function call itself only once, but here we can see that the function fx calls itself thrice at every call. So this is an example of backtracking. Now, what is combinatorial or exhaustive search? The recursive calls represents the available choices and we make one recursive call for each choice. We will try out all the possible choices and pick the favorable ones. So let us take an example of backtracking. Let us say that we have given an input array and we have to find the permutations of the given array. So for example, the input is 1 2 3, and so the permutations of 1 2 3 is 1 2 3 1 3 2 2 1 3 3 1 3 1 2 and 3 2 1. Let's see this in action with the help of the recursion tree. We will start with an empty partial solution and at first we have three choices 1 2 and 3. Let's start with 1 at first. So now since we chosen 1, we have two available choices 2 and 3, in which we choose 2 at first and then we have left with only one choice, that is 3, so we pick that. Now we have one valid solution, so we will backtrack one step. At this stage we did have one choices and we already picked that, so we will backtrack one more step. Now we did had two choice 2 and 3, but we already picked 2, so this time we will pick 3. After that we only have one choice 2, so we will pick that and we will have another valid solution, that is 1 3 and 2. So again we will backtrack. In the absence of available choices, we will again backtrack to our root node, and since we already picked one, now we have two choices 2 and 3, in which let's pick 2. So again we left with two choices 1 and 3. Similarly all other choices will be chosen and at last we will have our desired result. Let's take a look on a generalized pseudocode that can be used in any backtrack problem to generate the possibilities. So we have input parameters that can be array, index, or any property that defines the state of the system, and a partial solution that generally is a one-dimensional array. At first, we will check if our partial solution is a valid solution or not, and if that is a valid solution, we will process the solution. Here process means either we will print the result or we will store the results in some variable and then return. If the partial solution is not a valid solution, then we will generate all the available candidates and then for each candidate we will add the candidate in the partial solution and then call the recursive function with the partial result, and when the recursive function is returned we will remove the recently added candidate from the partial solution and then we try the same thing with a different candidate. This is the code for generating the permutation of the given array in Java. We have taken three parameters: the input array as input, a blank list of integers partial that represents our partial solution, and a boolean array of the same size as the input. Each entry in the array will represent if the element of input array at that position is used or not. At first, we check if the length of the partial solution is equal to the length of the input array or not. If it is equal, then we have a valid solution, so we will print the result and return. Now, if the length of the two arrays are not equal, then we iterate through each of the element of the input array. Then we will check if that element is already used in our partial solution or not, and if it is not used, then we add that element in the partial solution, marking the element as used, and then call the recursive function. After the recursive call returns, we will remove that element from our partial solution and again mark the element as unused to find a different valid solution. This is the Python version of the code. Till now you would be wondering that why are we talking about backtracking in the dynamic programming tutorial. As we will see in some later videos that the first step to solve any problem with dynamic programming is to come up with a naive recursive solution, in which it is very common to be in a situation where we have to generate all the possibilities. So backtrack technique can help us to do this, and then on top of that we apply dynamic programming to further optimize our algorithm. In the next video we will see some more problems that can be solved using backtracking. Thank you for watching the video.